What's going on? This is Clowntown Talk Show. This is Joe here. We got Ethan and Jake as our guests.
Yep.
Introduce yourselves, a little background. Go ahead, Jake.
All right. I'm a big Cam Newton fan. Merrimack College student, Holliston High School graduate with Joe G. And let's dive right in. Talk about some good sports today.
Ethan?
Yeah, big baseball fan. March Madness as well. Pretty pissed about that being canceled, but it happened.
Me too.
I go to Western New England University. I'm a sophomore studying sport management and minoring in marketing. So let's get into some sports.
Awesome. And we, as always, we also have Tyger and Higgy on this. And let's dive in. First of all, Jake, let's talk. Why are you a Cam Newton fan to start off with?
Why am I a Cam Newton fan? Good question, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so it all started back in 2013, I want to say. Just love his style of play, just the way he runs the ball, like the vibe he brings to the field. He's always getting the fans involved, giving the front row kids the football, and he's always been my favorite. I love the way he celebrates and gets crazy.
He does bring a good energy to the game.
He does bring some good energy, definitely. But I know you guys aren't the biggest fan of his talent, but I respectfully disagree, and we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, well, I'm a Saints fan, so I hate Cam Newton because
of course,
whatever.
He hasn't been that good against you guys.
He hasn't.
In the playoffs. That's the one team I will say.
But all right, so let's see here. Is his time being a starting QB? Is it up, Jake, and everyone else? What do you guys think?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I definitely don't think it's time to be up. I think the best is ahead of him. Honestly, he's been posting some crazy workout videos. I don't know if you've seen his Instagram, Joe. I send them to you sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, I think he's ready to go. He's definitely gonna have some revenge too against the Panthers because he said he's super hungry and they did him so dirty, releasing him after the teams the Bears got Foles and all that shit. So they kind of put him in a bad spot. So I think he's ready to go. He's gonna make some noise.
Yeah, I mean, I agree there. I think he's definitely gonna find another team to be quarterback of. I just don't think the best is ahead of him. I think his MVP season was his peak, honestly, and I think I know we're going to talk about this a little later, but teams where he might end up, I don't know if he's going to be a starter because he has to earn that, and maybe he'll have to fight against another quarterback to win that job. But it's going to be intriguing, and I can't wait to find out what happens.
I don't see him not being a starting QB somewhere. He's had a couple good seasons. He's been injury prone the past couple of years, but there's just so many teams out there right now that don't have a Cam Newton type QB. All these teams are signing these guys. Jags signing this XFL. I mean,
Philip Walker.
Yeah,
I agree, Higgy. I agree.
I just don't see even the Chargers. A lot of these teams just don't have anybody better than Cam Newton that he would have to start behind, have to be a backup for.
I agree, definitely.
Tyger, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to say, I think that he can be a starter, but I'm going to disagree with the statement of his best years are ahead of him. I think they're long gone. He still can be a starter. He cannot take the same money. He will not get the same money as he got with the Carolina Panthers. He will not get it. He cannot get it. He can go be a starter for a couple of years on a team like the LA Chargers or the Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. I think that he could fit there temporarily until they get their guy. I think he still has something left in him for sure, but I'm not sure that he's going to get the money that he's looking for on a team he's looking for.
I agree with that.
This is definitely going to be a year. This is going to be a year that oh, sorry.
My bad. I think it also depends on what team he goes to also to kind of see. I don't know, because I know he might go to Jacksonville because I think he's a lot better than Minshew over there. But
Yeah.
I don't think he'd play good if he went to Jacksonville because they only have Fournette. But like if he went to the Patriots, I think he would definitely be a lot better off there than he would any other team.
I just don't know if that's Belichick's guy, though.
I think he fits the model that Belichick wants.
Yeah, I agree with you, Higgy, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be the model that Belichick is looking for, but I got news for you. I think Josh McDaniels would love.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that a while ago when the Patriots had Tim Tebow, that weird time they traded for Tim Tebow.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's a dual threat quarterback, and McDaniels must have been up for it, just in case something would happen to Brady or whatever. But so I think Cam Newton would be a good fit, and I think the Pats could change their offense a little bit to kind of have Cam Newton step in there. But I don't think they're going to pay him the money he wants. And it'd be kind of a messy situation with Stidham.
So you think that Stidham's the guy, you guys think, or?
I don't know. I mean, I thought Garoppolo was the guy, and they traded him. So Stidham, I'm not as high on Stidham as I was on Garoppolo, obviously. So I think
Stidham hasn't proven himself.
I think they're going to sign someone else.
Who do you think they're going to sign? Jameis?
No, I think they'll sign maybe Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, that is going to be worse.
Andy Dalton is so garbage.
I hate Jameis
There's
Winston.
no reason
I hate Jameis Winston.
I hate Jameis Dalton.
Jameis Winston is a clown. Definition of a clown.
Jameis Winston is one of the
bad
worst quarterbacks.
Okay.
But the bad clown.
You talk about how bad Jameis Winston is, and say you want Andy Dalton on the Patriots.
I mean, Andy Dalton has a little bit of experience.
Andy Dalton's had like 3 one-win seasons in a row. What are you even talking about?
They're both quarterbacks, guys.
The Bengals.
The perk of Andy Dalton is that he's a stand and deliver quarterback. Cam Newton is kind of a bit of a wild card.
There we go.
You know what kind of quarterback Bill Belichick's like or has liked for the past 20 years is a guy who's going to stand and deliver.
That's true, but why wouldn't you want to switch it up a little bit? I feel like, I don't know.
I just don't see, going back to what Ethan said, I don't see them changing up the model for Cam Newton.
I agree with that, Higgy.
Josh McDaniels, I know he's the offensive coordinator, but Bill Belichick is the guy. Belichick is the person that they are going to listen to. They're not going to be like, oh, Josh McDaniels like this guy. Let's change up this whole model that's been working for us forever, that Bill Belichick has been working for his entire career with the Patriots. I don't see them changing up any of their thing to get Cam Newton.
That's true. Yeah. Belichick has said though he loves Cam Newton's abilities. I don't know if you've noted, a couple of years ago he said that he would put Cam Newton right at the top of the list for global QB.
Well, how far back was that?
That was 2017. So I mean,
times have changed. He's injury prone. He's been injured the past 2 seasons, really, and it just. I don't know. That really hurt him.
We haven't seen a healthy Cam Newton
which is a problem
years.
for most teams.
But you never know if you get him though. If you get a healthy Cam Newton, it could be
Andy has.
That's like a 50-50 roll of the dice.
100%. I agree with you 100%, Tiger. It's so 50-50 per season.
It's 50-50, but why not take the chance, especially if Cam's going to take a deal that's a lot less than what he's usually.
If the price is right, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if they've already decided that Jarrett Stidham
I think he needs to find a backup role, and he needs to prove himself, prove his health, and I think he can get back to a starting role at some point. I just don't think that time is now.
It may have to be on a team that is we have a starter, but I don't know, maybe the Raiders.
Right, let's light the fire under.
Yeah, Raiders are a good spot.
Going to elevate Carr, or are they going to say, okay, we're 1-3. All right, Cam, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't see Cam signing with the Raiders.
No,
Cam Newton's that big guy that wants to sign with a team that he's going to be the main guy on, that everyone's going to be watching, everyone's going to be paying attention to, and the Raiders aren't that team.
Higgy, how do you feel about Jacksonville though? I think that he could definitely go there.
Behind Minshew,
There's not that many guys around him. I
don't think he played too well on Jacksonville, but I definitely think there's a big chance they would sign him because Minshew, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they might just take Trevor Lawrence next season.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't see them spending money on Cam Newton this year and then wasting a number 1 overall pick that they would have gotten anyway if they just stay with Minshew or stay with whoever they have now. It just isn't worth it.
True. Honestly, I like the Chargers.
I do like
just because they have Tyrod Taylor right now, and what is he? A discount Cam Newton?
Yeah,
he's a discount.
Tyrod Taylor is a backup QB. He is.
And they have a lot of talent on that team too. They still have a lot of talent.
Yeah,
they have a lot of talent on that team. I would like to see him there as well. I personally would hate him on the Saints because he is so the opposite of what I like. He's such an ego,
No, but Joe, let me.
And you don't get that with the older QBs.
A lot, Joe.
Right.
I know you've always said that his ego has always been gotten the best of him and all that stuff. And it's fair points. I can see where you're coming from with that, but like the stuff he does, like in like the community of Charlotte too, like he was like one of the greatest like community. Like he was the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
I feel like his ego isn't too big if he's like everyone says he goes above and beyond in the community and stuff.
I think his ego is bigger than the player that he actually is. That's what I'm. That's my point.
Yeah,
that's fair point. That's fair point.
Let's move on. Let's ask the question, Tyler. I'm gonna start with you here. Was he ever elite?
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
My answer is no. My reason behind that is because to be elite, you need to have a certain factor that sets you apart from other players of your position or in the entire sport. And for me, the moment that sealed the deal that I said this man will never be elite was when he watched the Denver Broncos pounce on a fumble in Super Bowl 50.
Oh my!
I said absolutely not. This man will never have it.
Well, don't forget that Cam Newton was an MVP quarterback that same year, 2015. Exactly. They kind of choked in the Super Bowl. It happens, but take a look at Pat Mahomes. I mean, he had a ridiculous MVP season. Would you call him elite? I probably would call him elite now. He's kind of following the same Cam Newton trend as having that huge MVP year. And
he did just win the Super Bowl.
Saying that Cam Newton
he did.
Mahomes are like the same type of elite QB is ridiculous. There's nowhere close to QB.
No, I'm saying in Cam Newton's MVP season, he didn't throw. I don't think he threw 50 touchdowns.
He threw 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's pretty impressive.
But he used his legs. He led them to the Super Bowl. I think that was worth an elite performance. Now, is he elite now? No, obviously not. Is Mahomes elite? Yes, and I think he will be bearing any injuries going forward.
I would say his career was definitely overall, I would say elite, but right now he hasn't proven himself to be elite the last few years. But I would definitely say overall he was. He was the MVP of the league. He was ranked number 1 by his peers in that NFL 100 ranking. He was Rookie of the Year, like. That's all elite shit. Like
he had his moments.
Was in the conversation as an elite quarterback, and that's just awful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's about it. I think it sums it up right there. He had that elite season, and he's fallen off because
he's not a career elite QB. He's a 1 or 2 year had an elite season among other QBs that weren't as good as he was those years, but you can't say that he was elite. He was just better than the QBs that year.
But I mean, if you think of it back then, there weren't many rushing quarterbacks, outside of, I guess, Russell Wilson at the time. And he was starting to really change the game, and he made defenses be like, crap, we got to stop the quarterback, running the ball too. And I think that's what Lamar Jackson is doing so well and why he's could be considered elite. Because he's just so hard to stop because of his legs.
I'm going to reserve the Lamar Jackson elite commentary for a year or two down the line.
That's fair.
Joey, what do you think about all this?
Joe. Oh. I don't know what happened.
All right. So, should Cam Newton retire?
Not at all.
Really?
Oh my god!
I don't think so.
He's got a lot.
The videos you've been that you've been sending and all this stuff that I've been seeing about him working out, he is huge right now. He has something to prove. He needs this season. There's no way he can retire after being released this late into the off season, into free agency. There's no way he can retire right now. He needs to prove himself. This is the season. He needs to go to a team that he can prove himself on, which I think is the Chargers. You have Eckler and him running the ball all the time. You have you have a couple other wide receivers. They're
Mike Williams.
They're a top 1 or 2 team in their division.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean the Broncos and Raiders aren't going to give the Chiefs any trouble. I think the Chiefs' main competition would be the Chargers.
The Broncos are an underrated team right now. The Broncos are a huge underrated team right now. After just acquiring Melvin Gordon, their QBs are good. They have some good rookie QB, like new young QBs. That they're an underrated team.
They could surprise some teams, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so what else? What else we got?
So our last question here, who would you rather start a team with right now between Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson?
Who? Ethan, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So I did think about this a little bit. I brought up Lamar Jackson. I think he's great and all. It's got to be Pat Mahomes. I mean, he's already proven himself with the MVP.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't really look at, say you put Lamar Jackson on the Chiefs. Would he do the same things Mahomes did with that offense? Yeah, probably he could. But I think Mahomes, some of the throws we've seen and the pass, the deep threat ability of Tyreek Hill, like it would
be a different Lamar Jackson if he was on the Chiefs. With the amount of options that he would have had on the Chiefs, there's no way he would have run it this much. And there's no way they would have done the exact same thing that they would have done with Mahomes because Hill, Kelsey, all these guys wouldn't have done as much. So they wouldn't have scored as much.
And I think Deshaun Watson's really.
I think he's been overrated his entire career.
And now without
he's a lucky QB that chokes in the big games.
Deshaun Watson? What?
I don't like him.
Name a big game he's won.
Okay, but how many years has he gotten a shot?
Well, that's the reason. That's why he's an overrated.
You gotta watch the Bills game.
I wouldn't blame Deshaun Watson.
That's because he's that good.
I mean, yes, I wouldn't pick Deshaun Watson over Pat Mahomes, but watch the Bills game with that they played in the
right now that I would rather start a team with over Deshaun Watson. I just don't like him. I just see him as an overrated QB who's lucky in games that just isn't the type of guy that you want to start a team with.
I think he's got a lot of talent, to be honest with you, but I don't think he's had the proper pieces around him, including the coach. His coach has done nothing for him. Terrible coach.
Bill O'Brien's an awful coach. So say you take Deshaun Watson. They figured out a trade with the Patriots. He's now a New England Patriot.
I'd love that.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden,
we're not denying his talent.
I love his
talent. Guy. We just don't think that he's compared to Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. We don't think he's that great compared to them too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you're comparing Mahomes and Lamar Jackson too, you gotta look at Mahomes in the playoffs. Is aside from that loss against New England, he's been pretty impressive, and Lamar Jackson just completely shit the bed when he was playing the Titans this past season. So definitely Mahomes over him, but we'll see how their careers go, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it plays out whenever the NFL season decides they're going to start. But thanks guys for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Yeah.